SportsNet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat, just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. More pregame festivities on Blake Snell bobblehead night. That's family for him on the mound. Zach Levine, two-time NBA All-Star and slam dunk champion, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. And then the whole Zilla gang telling everybody here, you know the words. And it's time for Blake Snell to take the mound for his 2026 season debut. And he's working on a win presented by the Home Depot. Just the 12th regular season start in the Dodger uniform for Snell, but his rankings across Major League Baseball since 2023, the year he won his second Cy Young Award, top 3 across the board.
Yeah, the first one was in 2018, and you know the Dodgers' long-term plans. They're about October, and that's what they want him healthy for. So he has had some slow ramp-ups. He's had some setbacks with shoulder fatigue. He's had some issues with other little things. But you know what? When he is ready, he is one of the best in the game.
He's facing this starting lineup for Atlanta. Mauricio Dubon leads off in left field. Drake Baldwin was behind the plate last night. He's DHing tonight, batting second. Ozzie Albies at second base. Matt Olson will clean up at first. Austin Riley at the hot corner. He bats fifth. Michael Harris the second, coming off a 4-hit night on Friday. He's in center field, kicking off the bottom 4 of the order. Be followed by Sean Murphy behind the plate, Eli White in right field, and Jorge Mateo at short for Walt Weiss in his first year as the helm of Atlanta.
Last year's numbers right there for Blake. Contributed in a big way to get into the playoffs. Was really good through the NLCS. This is the arsenal that got it done. If you want swing and miss, it's going to be one of those 2 breaking balls, the curveball and the slider. If you want contact where he's throwing a ton of strikes but getting foul balls, it's the fastball and the changeup.
So here we go. Blake Snell's first pitch of the season is a strike, a fastball at 96. Here, Kirsten Watson detailed in the open that the velocity has ticked up a little bit for Snell as he's recovered from the shoulder fatigue that kept him on the shelf for the first 6 weeks. Quickly 0-2.
Well, when you're rehabbing and you're building up, every day is about how do I feel today, and so you never really go into a workload area where you're going to stress yourself, where you're going to bring on some more fatigue or bring on some more pain. It's the wear and tear of the season that might tick your velocity down, because when you're in an inning and it's a 25-pitch inning, you're not going to do that during rehab. But when you're in a game and all of a sudden the intensity's there and it's second and third in the 7th inning and you need to punch a guy out, there's more intensity. That's when the aches and pains and the velocity can tick down.
Breaks the bat of Dubon, and Hesung Kim can't quite get there. And so it's a leadoff single for Dubon and a 2-strike count.
It was a good pitch. Broke his bat. It just had enough that it gets through right on the label, the contact spot. And if Kim's not getting to it, I don't think any big league shortstop is. He's got some serious range.
Ball went upstairs on Drake Baldwin. He was 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks last night. Average drops below 300, now at 297. But so far in 2026, he shows that Rookie of the Year in 2025 was not a fluke.
One of the best offensive teams in baseball, and if you're hitting in the 2-hole, they're saying you're one of the best hitters in baseball. Then 297 buoys that.
Snell will keep Dubon close to the bag. Well, for Atlanta, 26-13, second best record in the National League behind the Chicago Cubs, who are scorching hot. In the first 37 games for Walt Weiss and company, just 3 times they were held to 1 or no runs in a game. Snell misses outside, 2-1 for Baldwin. but it's now happened in back-to-back games. And it is not a coincidence. Ronald Acuna Jr. has been on the injured list for the last 5 games, and the Braves have dropped 3 of them. On a 2-1. Baldwin spins around, and that's strike 2.
That's a tough strike because it's self-preservation as you're getting out of the way, but the bat goes forward as you're ducking backwards. It has to be a strike because if the ball hits the bat, it could be a double.
Slider just away, full count.
Blake leaving it up to Will Smith, who's been so good with the ABS system, and the challenges right there. They both looked in like, ugh, should we go for it early?
He smartly did not. Now the payoff. Ball 4, and the first 2 Braves reach to start. So for those who may have missed the injury to Ronald Acuna Jr., it happened at Coors Field, and the hamstring, it looked a lot worse than it apparently is, which is huge news for folks in Atlanta. It's a similar conversation for Acuna as it is for Snell or Tyler Glasnow. When he is out there, a few people better, if anybody. Curveball upstairs on Albies. 2-1, nobody out in the first.
Albies uses the same unorthodox approach from the right side as he does from the left, with the wide open stance and then coming in. Dangerous hitter, hitting .311 now, but he's a tad intimidating up there with all his gyrations.
This was an area of difficulty last night for Atlanta, hitting with runners in scoring position as Albies flails at a changeup, strike 2.
We saw that last night where he was chasing. Not only do they lose Acuna Jr., they run into a pitching staff that is super hot. These Dodgers are 4-1 in their last 5, and the pitching staff has a 1.84.
The 1-2 to Albies. Stays upstairs.
Snellzilla will not give in. He's going to shoot for the corners no matter what the count. The bobblehead of him looks like a Snellzilla.
Love a ground ball in this 2-2. It's a tapper in front of the plate. Will Smith has to put it in his pocket. Everybody's safe, and the bases are now loaded.
This is really close to the worst thing that could happen in the first inning after coming back. Your very first inning is here in early May. You get a broken bat, base hit up the middle. You get a walk, and now you get this one that rolls out there about 25 feet.
And now you have Matt Olson with the bases loaded and nobody out. Olson was 0 for 4 last night, but still more feared sluggers in the National League. Takes ball 1. 16 pitches thrown from Snell. He has yet to record an out. The Dodgers are hoping to keep him around 75 and get him through 5 innings.
Well, the issue is not 5 innings right now. The issue is to keep him away from a 30-pitch inning, because you're going to be starting to worry about health and overexposure and workload in the very first inning.
On a 1-1, Olson fouls, strike 2 away.
All the things that I've said about rehab and how controlled the environment is as you come up, you're out of the controlled environment now.
On a 1-2, Snell misses low and outside.
Last year, Blake's breaking balls were his 2 best whiff pitches. The slider was over 50%, was 8th best in Major League Baseball. And the curveball was just under 50%, right around 46%. It was the 4th best curveball as far as whiff percentage. So I'm not surprised in this left on left bases loaded no out situation that he's going to breaking balls.
Another 2-2 to Olson. Got him. Big first out against a tough customer.
Whiff percentage 54% last year on this pitch. The slider on the corner, and he gets what he's looking for. Got all 4 hitters to 2 strikes, 3 reached, 1 set down.
And the first strikeout. 7 total for the Dodgers staff tonight. Mean more free burgers for you tomorrow. Free Jumbo Jack in LA after you buy a large drink. Austin Riley grounds the first pitch to short. Kim to second. There won't be a turn. Dubon scores on the play. 1-0 Atlanta.
It's well done by Kim. First ball we saw the hit up the middle. He had to go to his left. This one he has to go far to his right. And it's the throw to second base to get the force out that you're nervous about. But he throws a strike.
There's the second.
On the corners for Harris. A strike from Snell. Harris was an impossible out on Friday. He was 4 for 4 with a run scored. 8th time in his career he had 4 hits in a single game. Now batting .319. Snell's ahead of him. 0-2.
Put Olson away with a slider. There's the slider right there to get to 0-2. A lot of 2-strike counts in this inning. 3 weak ground balls and a walk, but they still played a run.
Here's the 0-2. That's 3. Bases were loaded with nobody out, and Snell limits the damage to just 1.
The 3
lefty and Chris Sale. It's a right-hander on the mound, so Ohtani and Freeman reunited in the first 2 spots. Will Smith will hit 3rd. Kyle Tucker back cleaning up in right field. Andy Pages will bat 5th in center. Max Muncy playing 3rd. Teoscar Hernandez down in the 7-hole in left field. And it's Ha-Seong Kim and Alex Freeland. Those 2 have been really good in the 8 and 9 spots. Spencer Strider making his 2nd start of the year. He's coming off a really rough season debut on the road at Coors Field.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough one. Blake Snell kind of escaped his first inning. That was a debacle. This one, he's trying to get better. This is the kind of guy, though, when he finds it, he is one of the best in the game also. 2023, 4th in the National League Cy Young race.
His first pitch of the night is a strike to Ohtani. Shohei was 1 for 4 last night. He's got hits and RBIs in back-to-back games. But still just 3 for 23 so far in the month of May. Strider's 0-1. Sails upstairs. Fastball at 97. The 1-1 breaks down and in. You mentioned Strider's 2023 campaign. This is a burst on the scene in 2022. Finished runner-up to his teammate Michael Harris II for National League Rookie of the Year. On a 2-1, Ohtani tip strike 2 into glove. Strider backed that up in 2023, but then the injury bug. His 2nd Tommy John surgery. His first came back in college at Clemson. This TJ in April of 2024, and he's been trying to find his form since then. Blows it by Shohei. Fastball to get the first out.
Velocity a tick up here so far facing Shohei. Most of them 96, 97. That would take him back to his 2023 velocities. First outing, he was averaging just below 95.
Now Freddie Freeman. Watches strike one. Freddie's got a 7-game hitting streak going. Continued it last night with his 100th home run as a Dodger.
He has rarely tweaked his stance, his swing.
Underneath this one into shallow center. Coasting in Harris.
Those highlights and stats we showed you have all come about with a turned right foot in to kind of close his right hip and stay on the swing longer and stay on the ball longer.
Two quick outs for Strider in the bottom of the first. Dodgers trailing 1-0 as Will Smith steps in. Started the series 0 for 4, struck out twice on Friday. Average down to 259 on the year for Smith. Fastball low, 2 balls, no strikes. Smack to left by Smith. That'll drop down for a 2-strike single.
Game starts a little early here tonight. Absolutely perfect blue skies, 72 degrees. Will Smith getting a little 2-out hit. What a night to be at the ballpark. Get your bobblehead, get your food and your drink, sit in your seat with your sellout crowd. This is amazing.
Two outs, tying run aboard for Kyle Tucker. Strike one away on a check swing. Like Freddie Freeman, Tucker's got a hitting streak going. His is at 6 games.
More and more barrels. Yeah, did he get a few cheap ones to get going? Yeah, but since then, pull side in the air, being fooled, but still having to swing to barrel it up.
Not just the 6-game hitting streak, he's also reached base safely in each of the last 14. Trying to stack days and get his first season as a Dodger rolling. Lays off the slider from Strider, 1-2. It was Tucker who brought in the first Dodger run last night. A hit with Teoscar Hernandez on first base. He doubled into the right field corner. Hits with men on have been tougher for him than those with the bases empty. Now 2-2. Right field corner still basking in the sun. The earlier start time on this Saturday. Tucker down swinging. Good changeup from Strider to strand Smith and keep it 1-0 Atlanta. Heading to the second.
MLB is partnering with the Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free 24/7 confidential support in English and Spanish. Text MLB to 741-741.
Dodgers down early, 1-0 Atlanta. Game 2 of this 3-game series. The Dodgers with a win tonight would clinch the series. It took Snell a little bit to get rolling in that first inning back. Now his second starts with a strike. First 3 batters in the first inning, 15 pitches thrown, no outs recorded, but he got the last 3 outs on 10 pitches, including a couple of Ks. Oh, the lights. It looked like the lights just went out right before that pitch. And Oral, the reason I bring up Snell taking a minute to get rolling tonight, it's important to keep in mind what the original schedule was for him. He's supposed to throw 5 innings tonight in Ontario with the Tower Buzzers. Instead, the change was made for him to just make his season debut against one of the best offenses in the majors. So rehabbing at this level against this opponent.
Well, it's 3 more rehab starts that he had compared to Ohtani last year. He had to rehab at the big league level because of the stir he would cause at every level.
Sword, strike 3.
And they also needed him to DH. So being able to do 2 things in an elite way, Shohei was rehabbing his pitching up here, but Blake Snell at least got 3 in the minors to get ready.
Three strikeouts now for Snell, 4 to go. Get 7 total and get you a free jumbo jack tomorrow in LA.
That strikeout came on the curveball. The slider was the pitch that got him out of the big jam in the first inning. They were 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. They swung at his slider 4 times and missed 3 of them.
Fastball just inside on Eli White, 1-1. Win 2. See him getting some whiffs. There's definitely been some chase for Atlanta to help him out.
I like what I see so far.
On a 1-2, White launches a changeup, just missed. Snell wanted it, didn't get the call. Also a challenge.
I especially liked what happened in the first inning. Not the result, but as much as the execution of the pitches after a broken bat hit and a walk, and he got right back in there.
Swinging tapper to third. Muncy charging, throws. Not in time to get White, who can hustle. So another infield single for Atlanta.
Yeah, weakly hit ground balls. Will Smith got to put one in his back pocket, and Max could have easily put this one in his pocket if he wanted to.
As I said, he can hustle down the line. Top 5 in the league in sprint speed. Stays for the first pitch. Wave and a miss from Mateo, the number 9 hitter, behind 0-1. Mateo did not start last night, came off the bench as a pinch runner late. Quickly 0-2.
Well, it's 8 out of 9 batters that he's gotten to 2 strikes. 4 of them have reached.
I mean, in 3 hits, 2 of them are basically swinging bunts. The other one was a broken bat base hit that didn't get out of the infield.
Exactly.
Without some help off of Ha-Seong Kim's glove. The 0-2 blown away.
Well, the last year, the league average for strike throwing was around 61%. He was above that at almost 65%. But he still gets deep counts because once he gets ahead of you, he does pick and try and get you to chase.
No chase there on that curve in the dirt. Well blocked by Will Smith as well.
Attacks in the strike zone early, usually when he has his release point and he's at his best. And then he's trying to make the ball look like a strike and end up a ball to get that chase or that whiff.
The 2-2 to Mateo. Hit foul at third. Approaching 40 pitches with 1 on and 1 out in the second. 1-0 Atlanta. Mateo sends one to right. Tucker has a drop in front of him. That sounded like that broke the bat as well.
2 broken bats, 2 infield hits, very little exit velocity. This is where the probabilities of baseball can burn you even when you're throwing the ball well. It's a rough game when the probabilities turn the wrong way.
Lineup turns over now. Dubon flashed a bunt, pulled back. It was too low, according to Ben May, the home plate umpire. First time through the order, 4 hits, and as you alluded to, well, none of them were hit hard. That means you got to have it at least 95 miles per hour off the bat. Didn't happen, but Braves still lead, and they're cooking again in the second. Snell wants to have a chat with Smith. While they visit on the mound, we'll listen to this word from Kia.
Blake will think the game to the nth degree. And he's thinking 2-0 count. I need to throw a strike. He wanted to talk to Will about, does the chart say anything about where the best place is for the ground ball? Where's our best odds?
The 2-0, Dubon. On a line to center. Paez has the read and the catch. And the second out.
So we have a conference. We have first and second, 1 out. We have a 2-0 count. And Blake Snell wants a conference, and he gets a changeup to throw. And he goes right back to it, and he gets the out. It was almost like down and distance in football right there. They wanted to call the right play.
I remember how lethal that changeup was in the stretch last year for Blake Snell. No surprise that it's the out, or the pitch that he went to rather, to get Dubon.
Yeah, he probably had a couple in his head that he's like, these are the ones I feel and I can execute, but I want to get a word with Will. And Will, during the meeting, looked down at his little chart on his wrist.
Just like against Dubon, Snell falls behind Baldwin. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, knowing Blake, he's not going to give in. He has an open base, even though it's third base.
Ball 3.
Braves 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, and that was an infield hit that didn't even score somebody. It just set the table.
Down the middle for a strike. Snell on the board.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a slider.
There's a fastball, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded for a second straight inning. That's Baldwin's 4th walk of the series already.
It was typical Snellzilla, though, not giving in.
It's a whiff from Albies. Strike 1.
If there's a hitter of the 9 of them that Atlanta has run up there, this is the guy you actually want up there if you're Blake Snell. You know from watching yesterday how much he chased, and you know from the first at bat that he's chasing, and he did it there on the first pitch.
Back-to-back changeups, 0-2.
Albies going to the home plate umpire going, was that on the plate? I hope he lied to him.
Triple up.
Ken, I think, and we saw him swing at a breaking ball in the first at bat.
50th pitch of the game, the 0-2. And Albies goes down to get it. It was a third straight change, and it's a base hit that'll score a pair. 3-0 Atlanta. We had the discussion last night. Ozzie Albies, an excellent bad ball hitter, showed it again here.
Toes to his nose, and this is, wow, even below his toenails. That's this one. He starts moving the bat and just finds a way to eye-hand coordination to get it out there.
Ball 1 to Olson. Out inside to the backstop, and an extra base for both base runners. 2 more in scoring position.
Half of the hitters he's faced, he's gotten to 2 strikes. And half of the hitters he's faced with 2 strikes have gotten on.
Olson with a base hit. And that wild pitch hurts. 2 more score. 5-0 Braves.
The probabilities have turned against him early, and now they're actually getting the ones they earn. And this one does hurt. The wild pitch set the table and put 2 in scoring position instead of 1, and that base hit drives him in.
Ball and a strike for Riley. 0 for 1 with an RBI ground down. Opened the scoring in the first inning. Saw Mark Pryor get on the phone in the dugout. Eduardo gets Edgardo Enriquez up to warm up. 1-2.
Wednesday and last night, the bullpen has had a heavy workload. They have been very, very good those last 2 games with an ERA under 1. But they've had to cover 12 1/3 of the 18 innings coming in to this game.
The 1-2 to Riley. Runner goes. It's in the dirt. Olson now on second. First stolen base of the season for Olson. Matches his output from last year. In 162 games he had 1. Riley grounds it to third. Muncy just inside the line. Bounces the throw. Freddie Freeman is there. And the inning is over, but a crooked number for Atlanta. 4 across. And now a 5-0 deficit for the Dodgers. Champion Dodgers baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Well, not the most inspiring start to game 2 of this series. The Dodgers down 5-0. Just the bottom of the second. Andy Pages, Max Muncy, and Teoscar Hernandez due up to try and chip away. Sort of a mystifying start for Blake Snell in his season debut. 5 runs, all of them earned. The most he's given up in the first 2 innings of a start since July of 2021. Of the 6 hits he's surrendered, just 1 of them was hit hard, but this has not been able to put Braves away in 2 strike counts.
Even with pitches that are in the dirt.
Yeah.
And even with pitches that are hit weakly that should be outs. When you talk about hit probability, I'm sure a lot of those balls that they hit were a very low probability. We saw Jarvis, the young shortstop, last night catch one that was blooped out into left field that you quoted. I think it was a 72% chance that it would have a hit, and he found a way to catch it like an NFL receiver.
Ball and 2 strikes on Pages. Here's Strider. Another one-shot foul. Pages 0 for 3 last night. That snapped an 8-game hitting streak for him. It's still batting .329. Another 1-2. Another foul ball. Fooled him with the curve. Strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout already for Strider. 5 Dodgers faced.
With his fastball, you know, in the high 90s, when he throws this hammer that goes straight down, the window it's coming out of is like a belt high fastball that you want to attack, and then all of a sudden the bottom drops out of it.
First pitch strike on Max Muncy. He was 1 for his last 12 with 6 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Slider stays in the window longer than the curveball, but it's still sharp and going down.
Muncy in the air, right field, running back White, and he makes a leaping catch in front of the warning track. Let's show you the All-State Good Hands replay in the second out of the second inning.
Well, it takes a jump, it takes a read with your eyes, and then timing for that leap at the end. Almost full extension, but he made it look easy at the end.
First 2 outs. The base is empty. Strike 1 to Teoscar Hernandez. Teo reached twice in the opener. Had a base hit. Was hit by a pitch.
No action in the Dodger bullpen now, so it looks like Blake is coming back out.
Hernandez down on 3 pitches. Bookending K's in a 1-2-3 second for Strider. 5-0 Braves.
Your Ice Cube Lowrider bobblehead. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Blake Snell back to work. Strike 1, start to 3rd.
If you're not going to be here to get the bobblehead, you should watch the television broadcast, because we're going to have Ice Cube possibly in the booth.
That's the hope.
We hope. It's never been done in television before, and I apologize. A tease that doesn't come true. I apologize. Limbo.
Here's got out of the way. Ball 1. So if you're Blake Snell, Oral, season debut, it's the 9th of May. 1-2 now on Harris. You've been BABIP to death the first 2 innings, giving up 5 runs. You've already thrown north of 60 pitches. The mindset is
Well, on the things that you can control, you want to work on if they were negative. On the things you can't control, don't worry about it, turn the page. And so the low exit velocity infield hits, the blooper, but the walk to the second hitter, the wild pitch, those kind of things you can control, you're going to critique yourself, try and get better. But as far as the results, and if this turns out to be a no decision or a loss and the ERA is at a level that you go, oh, that's embarrassing. No, somebody his stature, it should not affect.
Another 1-2. Bouncer to the right side. Freeland to Freeman. One away. For those unfamiliar with the term BABIP, batting average on balls in play, basically an indicator of luck or misfortune, depending on which side of the coin you're looking at. And as we've seen tonight, some balls are put in play by the Braves lineup, swinging bunts, infield tappers, and they result in hits. But
well, you have actual and you have expected earned run average also. And I'm sure there's going to be a wide margin between those two numbers.
Good curve to get strike one on Murphy. One of 3 strikeout victims so far for Snell. Back-to-back swords on back-to-back curves.
Well, if you want the hitter to make the biggest adjustment, go ahead and throw another one.
Three in a row, and strike 3 for Murphy.
If I'm Murphy, if it's a curveball, he should just take it, because there's no way Zilla's going to throw it for a strike. Not the way he picks after getting ahead of people.
Little up, little in, ball 1 on Eli White. He's the one who started the 4-run rally in the second. A 1-out infield single.
Long way to go. Get a little momentum here with a 3-up, 3-down inning. See if they can start creeping back into this game.
Now it's Jack Dreyer starting to loosen.
That's the 3rd broken bat for the Atlanta Braves.
Two to White. Ground ball towards short. Kim throws it away. Routine play turns into E6.
We haven't seen this. It looks like he didn't get the grip as he went in to get the ball out of the glove. So in combination with the foot speed and what he was coming across in the rhythm, it was gone. Blake's pretty much probably saying, anything else going to happen?
Up to this point, it's been that kind of night for the left-hander in his first outing of the season. Strike 1 fouled away by Mateo, the number 9 hitter. Singleton scored the last inning.
Braves offense getting help from baseball, and they've needed it because the last 2 games they've averaged 1 run a game.
Yes, he did. 0-2. White running for second, and he'll have it without a throw. Strike 3. He strands the 2-out error. Keeps the line at 5. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Dodgers hoping for some good times before this night is done. They're trailing 5-0. A hug from Dave Roberts indicating Blake Snell's night is done after 77 pitches. 3 innings, 6 hits, just 1 hard hit. 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He walked 2, he struck out 5.
Dave just downloading the outing, and I'm sure encouraging him. Some of it, Dave's got a smile on his face. So got to laugh about some of the results, not the pitch execution that was a lot better than the results.
He had 16 swings and misses in just 3 innings, but you're looking up the scoreboard and you're trying to do a triple take because your eyes have to be fooling you. It can't be 5-0, but it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kim, but an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Sean Murphy tapping the helmet. And he does so successfully.
It is a strike. Atlanta retains the challenge. Batter's out.
Well, Strider enjoying that 5-run cushion, but he is pitching much better than he did in his first outing against Colorado. That outing he only threw a few strikes over 50%. This one close to 75% of the time he's throwing strikes.
Against the Rockies, 3 1/3 innings, he gave up 9 base runners. Matched a career high with 5 walks. Atlanta eventually won the game, but it was setting off alarm bells in Braves country because folks keep waiting for the Spencer Strider of old, and this hasn't been there the last year and some change coming off the second TJ, but tonight he's recaptured it, it seems.
Yeah, well, the 96-97 starts it, and then that's going to increase the spin rate on your curveball and your slider and how sharp they are. They're going to have a later pattern that the hitter can read. That was a tight breaking ball right there at 84 that punches him out.
So Freeland down on 3 pitches. 3 Dodgers down in a row via the K, and 6 of the first 9.
Yep, and only 1 hit from the Dodgers. 1 for 9 with those 6 Ks.
Ohtani was the first of those strikeouts.
He usually is swinging early in the count when he is struck out the next at bat.
5-0 Atlanta. 2 outs, bases empty, home half of the 3rd. Change in the dirt, ball 1. The 2-0. Rolled foul.
Usually when I talk about a hitter swinging early, you mean first strike. Shohei still hasn't gotten a strike when he swung.
After a couple of shakes, here's the pitch. High curve, squares the count, 2-2. On the ground to Olsen. Fields it and gives it to Strider, who beats Ohtani in the foot race. Dodgers go down 1-2-3 in the third.
All right, Dodger fans.
Baseball and its bullpen in the last handful of games, and really the last dozen, has been so strong. But in the last 5, an ERA sub-1.
Yeah, and they're doing it with all different kinds of stuff. The righties, the lefties, throwing strikes, not giving up the home run.
The call to the bullpen. And it's brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. Jack Dreyer comes on for the 17th time this season. Blake Snell pitches 3 innings in his debut. And now the bullpen, which covered 8 innings on Wednesday, 4 1/3 scoreless on Friday. They're going to need at least 6 tonight.
Well, at the end of this game, there's going to be 27 innings, right? And they're going to have covered 18 1/3 over the last 3 games.
Devone fights it into right center field, dumps down his second hit of the game. Now with the bullpen, the cast has changed within the last couple of days. Tyler Glasnow goes to the injured list. Paul Gervais comes up, and with Blake Snell being activated, Brock Stewart hit the injured list. Big swing and a miss for Baldwin. Ball and a strike. We saw Stewart last night, got a hold, pitched an inning, walked 1, struck out a batter through 18 pitches, 9 strikes. So Kirsten Watson, what happened?
Yeah, so yesterday when he was running over to cover first base, he started to kind of feel he's been dealing with bone spurs in that left foot, and it's something.
Ground ball to second. Could be 2. Will be 2. Back to you, Kirsten.
It's something that he has been dealing with the past, but he said last night it just kind of aggravated him. So he's going to continue to get some more information, get some imaging, and get a better understanding as to what this is going to mean for him, but that has placed him on the IL. Then you have just with Tyler Glasnow quickly, Dave Roberts said that he had the MRI. No new information showed in the imaging when it comes to Tyler's back spasms, and he's continuing to feel better each day, and so they're very optimistic that he should only be on the IL for this limited time of 15 days, guys.
I hope so. Thank you, Kirsten. 2 outs, base is now empty as Albies taps one to the left side. Dreyer quickly over, throws a fastball to Freeman, and that's the final out. Sees the minimum in the 4th. Keeps it 5-0. The Dodgers trail. We welcome you back with Range Rover Sport, engineered to win. The Dodgers trailing Atlanta 5-0, but it's been a good matchup for the Dodgers in recent years. They've won 11 of the last 14 meetings, and each of the last 8 games played between these 2 teams here in LA. A lot of ball game left, but they got to start making Spencer Strider work.
I don't think they'll push him too far, but you're right. You would like to get some traffic and put some stress on him.
Freeman chops it to the left side of the infield. Strider plays it well.
The last 2 outs have been very athletic plays by both pitchers. Strider had to go a lot farther to get to his ball, but Strider played that one very well. Gets off the mound quickly, squares away his feet, and guns it over there. Turned it into a very routine play.
You can see how athletic Strider is. Built from the bottom half. Sort of a mad scientist. I think you would love talking shop with him. That's how he approaches the game.
So we had Snellzilla against Quadzilla.
Yes, Bulldog, that's exactly the matchup.
The Quads won this time so far. When he gets his pants, these go, these aren't tight enough. I need them tighter.
You bring these in.
Yeah.
2-1. Well, the only Dodger to produce a hit off Strider so far tonight is standing in the batter's box right now. Smith hit a 2-out single in the first. Ahead 3-1. In 2023, Spencer Strider, as he loses Smith to a walk, had a league high 281 strikeouts and 186 in 2/3 innings.
Number 23.
This is second full season, finished with 20 wins and 32 starts, an ERA of 3.86. Fourth in the Cy Young voting that year, the year Blake Snell won the award. Kyle Tucker now 1-on, 1-out. Dodgers trailing by 5. Another ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Challenged by the catcher.
Sean Murphy 1 for 1 tonight. 2 for 2.
It is a strike. Atlanta retains.
Coming into these series with Sale and Strider going for Atlanta in the first 2 games, you thought, yeah, Sale is going to be the tough one.
Right.
You know, leading Major League Baseball in wins, 6-1, really super low ERA. Well, they found a way to beat him, but tonight Strider is pitching like the ace.
That's after a night. Sale was actually really good in his 7 innings, but the Dodgers scored as many runs against him last night as he had allowed his previous 4 starts combined, and for the first time all year, the Atlanta rotation has had back-to-back losses. Tucker grounds into second. Albies to Mateo. Mateo to Olsen. Swipe tag, no.
Couple of shortstops with throwing issues tonight on both sides. Kim with an errant throw, and now Mateo with one that's wide. Those 3 RBIs off of Sale last night, all left-handed hitters. Freddie with his home run, Ohtani with a ground ball in the hole RBI, and Tucker with a breaking ball away that he got in the air down the right field line.
Strike 1 on Andy Pages.
Chris threw the ball very, very well.
That was a big win for the Dodgers to get. Starting a big series against a pitcher, Hall of Famer and Chris Sale, that type of talent, and really his resume. And it came in as the major league leader in wins. You had to feel good to win a game like that, because that's the type of ball game you're going to see in the postseason. On a 1-1, Pages a little late on that fastball.
What I liked about it for the Dodgers is they come into the series against him, and you're immediately kind of click into a refined focus. And then you win the game and you go, oh, that's where that level of concentration is. That's where that level of adrenaline is. It wasn't just a regular season game. It was against Chris Sale, and it was tight and it was good. And it can give you a new outline on how to prepare and how to get the adrenaline and how to get the focus again. Because the regular season with all these games can get a tad boring, or you get into these habits where you just need that little stimulus to take you to the next level. And I thought that's what that kind of game could do for the Dodgers.
Dave Roberts said as much after the game, meeting with the media. You got a chance to beat Chris Sale. You saw how I managed it, is what Doc said. With some urgency, going to high leverage arms in big spots, not hesitating to go to the bullpen early, because as we discussed, you don't have to wait for the late innings just because that's when people typically view it as this is the game-changing high leverage moment. No, it could happen early. On a 2-2, Strider bounces a curve.
Those are subconscious and conscious decisions that send signals to your team that so much of the Dodger season is about the long term.
Yeah.
But Dave specifically said this one's about the short term.
Strider's payoff. Poked away by Pages.
As you can say all you want, they've been looking for ways to wake up the offense. It has been too hot and then cold, and hot and then cold. 8 runs and then only 1 run, and then 12 runs and then only 3 runs. It's like it's been up and down. They're looking for that consistency.
Strider's 8th pitch on the ground to third. Bradley makes the throw across, and the inning is over. 4 zeros put up by Strider. 5-0 the score. Atlanta ahead. You're watching back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on SportsNet LA, and it's brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Not going to be easy tonight if the Dodgers want to win and take this series. They're down 5-0 starting the 5th. Jack Dreyer to Matt Olson. Strike one, fouled back. The Dodgers' largest comeback victory so far this year is 5 runs. That happened on the 5th of April on the road in D.C. A team chasing Atlanta in the NL East standings. Nationals lost tonight in Miami. The Padres won at home against St. Louis. 2 first-place teams going at it here at Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium.
Olson kind of hyperextended his front arm, his right arm on that one a little bit. He's trying to shake off the sting. Left on left breaking balls will do that to a left-handed hitter.
Olson grounds it to his counterpart Freeman. Dave Roberts ran from the top step of the dugout to come greet Jack Dreyer. Face 4 batters. No runs across. 1 out in the 5th. We'll be right back.
The Dodgers on May 13th for World Champion Gold Jersey Night. The first 40,000 fans will score an exclusive gold jersey. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotion.
Big homestand for giveaways. And a big series to start the homestand. Dodgers and Braves. Second of 3, 5-0 Atlanta. Edgardo Enriquez comes out of the bullpen and throws strike 1 to Austin Riley. Oh. Strike 2 fouled off the massive Smith.
Edgardo has dominated right-handed hitters. It has been lefties that have really got to him. Righty's hitting just barely over 150. Lefty's hitting over 310.
Got a righty up there in Riley. Harris bats left-handed, but Murphy back on the right side. Enriquez buzzes the tower with 101.
You better pick that up pretty quick when it's going up by your head. His average fastball for both his two-seamer and his four-seamer over 100 miles an hour.
Who was the hardest thrower you saw while playing?
For me, in the batter's box, Nolan Ryan and Dwight Gooden.
On a 2-2, Riley fouls back 99.
And it felt like it was the hardest because in those at bats, I definitely had two pitches right at my head. One that slipped from Dwight Gooden and one that was on purpose from Nolan Ryan.
What?
Oh,
that's surprising.
Well, I attempted to bunt for a hit off of him and forgot the Cardinal Ryan rule, which is you don't bunt on Nolan Ryan or the next pitch is at your coconut.
Atlanta's testing the mask and the equipment of Will Smith so far this inning. Riley, stop it. Ball 3 upstairs, full count. On the 8th pitch from Enriquez, Riley fouls back another. Pitch number 9. And Riley walks.
Making it hard on yourself right there when you walk the handed hitter that's hitting around 150, and now you go to a handed hitter that the league is hitting over 310.
He couldn't get Harris out last night. 4 for 4. Gotten him out twice so far tonight. 0 for 2. Swings over the top of the cutter. Ball and a strike.
Before that 4 for 4 night last night for Harris, he was struggling in the 9 games prior, only hitting 160. So I guess he was due.
1-2. Toward the gap in right center field. No one's going to get that. One hops off the warning track. Riley being waved around. Here's the relay. Throw home. Play at the plate. Not in time. RBI double from Michael Harris II. 6-0 Braves. He alluded to the splits for Enriquez against left-handed batters.
Yeah, the walks is sinful start, and then a lefty of one of the lefties in the league. This is a very nice relay. Maybe without the second hop, you've got a shot at him, but that second hop slowed it down just enough. A really good slide from Riley. And Harris stays hot.
He is a streaky talent, Michael Harris. he will light the world on fire for a month and then go ice cold for a couple weeks, get hot for 2 weeks, go cold for 3. That's the way it's been for him in his young career so far. But he grows the Dodger deficit to 6. Still only 1 out in the 5th. He's the 9th 2-strike base runner of the game for Atlanta, and the 6th to reach with a 2-strike hit. Shattered bat, roller to Muncy. Out number 2. Eighth spot of the order was Eli White's. Not any longer. Dominic Smith pinch hitting for him. So that'll inspire Mark Pryor to run out and talk with Enriquez and Smith.
Pretty much a set pattern for the Dodgers when there's a pinch hitter coming up.
Yeah.
It's the Braves' 11th time to have a runner in scoring position for an at-bat. Dodgers have yet to put a runner into scoring position.
Not what you want. Would qualify as suboptimal. Strike 1. Smith was 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. Last night's opener got the start. Enriquez ahead of him 0-2. Enriquez out of the stretch. Misses up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shot to third. Muncy dives and makes the play. Saves a run. But Atlanta did stretch across another 6-0, nearly 7-0. Not for Muncy.
Nikko Field at Dodger Stadium, where soon we will be seeing Mookie Betts. So he actually today completed his second rehab outing. Today he went 1 for 2 with a walk and a run, and even Alex Friedman of the OKC Comets, he shared that Mookie was showcasing a lot of speed. He was running from first to third on a ground out, and that's one of those key signs that Dave Roberts was looking for. Dave has made it clear that as long as these 2 games for his rehab outing have gone well, he should be returning to the team on a travel day tomorrow and then should be back in the lineup come Monday, guys.
Exciting news, Kirsten. The fact that Mookie Betts is close to returning. Talk about a big boost. 2-1 for Muncy leading off the 5th. Atlanta now up on LA 6-0.
Dodgers have run 14 players to the plate. Only 3 have gotten the ball out of the infield. And the ball hasn't left the infield in the last 8 guys.
On a 2-2. Muncy out in front of that slider.
Thought it was going to be fair and we'd have the perfect broadcaster jinx.
Well, you can go this way. Ended the last half inning with a sparkling defensive play. Muncy has been really good at the hot corner this year. Now leading off. Trying to take defense into offense. Got the count full.
How many times do you make a sparkling play on defense and then lead off the next inning?
And then to take it a step further.
1 out of 9 times.
Popped up. First base side. Olsen in foul territory. 1 out. Sorry, Max. We tried.
In this generation for pitchers, 0.
0-0. That doesn't happen.
Well, Shohei can do it.
Oh, it's true. Strike 1 to Teoscar Hernandez. The next pitch from Strider will be his 70th of the game. A lot of discussion around this Braves team about Spencer Strider. He's not the same. Not what you remember. Tonight, at least, is exactly how you remember him from a few years ago.
I would say it's a lot more than a shadow of his old self.
Coming off that second Tommy John, whatever second major surgery, it's when the question marks really amplify. I mean, the Dodgers recently saw it with Walker Buehler. Another pop up on the first base side. Olsen camped out next to the net. No chance to make a play. It is strike 2. Now a square count. Yeah, I got it. Don't mind the net. The 2-2. Misses up. Back-to-back full counts. Downstairs, ball 4. First Dodger not named Will Smith to reach tonight. Will Smith's 1 for 1 with a base hit and a walk. Everybody else in the team 0 for 13 with 6 Ks, and now that free pass taken by Teoscar. Waving to miss strike 1 on Kim.
Looks like we're getting close to the pitch count that the Braves want Strider to finish with.
The 1-1. Kim grounds it underneath the glove of Strider. Mateo fields it. Will take the lead runner out. So Kim trades places with Hernandez. 2 gone.
Number 76, Alex Freeland.
With 2 out and a runner on, here's Alex Freeland at the bottom of the Dodger order. Struck out his first time up. Takes a slider on the outside corner. It's the lefty Dylan Lee, first man up in the Atlanta bullpen.
Possibly up for Shohei and Freddie. Strider threw 87 pitches against Colorado in his first outing.
0-2.
That one was very close, and yeah, it was a ball. And I think the Dodgers are getting to the point where they need to be liberal with their challenges, where the Braves can hold on to theirs and see if the score tightens up. Dodgers are going to do anything they can to get a rally started or extend it, and they also should.
Ooh, that was close. And Olsen says, take another look and see if you want headsets here.
Looks safe.
No, I don't know. The Braves are saying headsets.
Okay, so the fingers are over the bag, but maybe not on the bag.
Atlanta's challenging the safe call, first base.
It's a cardinal sin if he's out.
Yep. John Tumpane, the first base umpire, signaled safe. So now they're looking for evidence to overturn the call on the field. Last night it was a close play at the plate. Dodgers with a big relay. That was a massive moment in the game. The Braves challenged Michael Harris, the second, sliding in. Initially called it. Smith tagged him before, and there's just nothing on video to overturn that.
You know, the key here, I think, is the call on the field being safe. That might rescue Kim a little bit.
Has to be like an empty, nerve-wracking feeling. You're a base runner.
Especially when you're down 6-0. There's no place to go.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Atlanta loses their challenge.
So Hassan can exhale.
The thing about Strider and Kim, really, Kim's never really seen his move. And he probably got surprised on how quick he is.
Strider needs one more strike to finish the inning, and he gets it. The very next pitch after the unsuccessful challenge. So Kim stranded. It is 6-0 Atlanta going to the 6th. Sad and emotional day in Braves country and really around the baseball world. The passing of Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox. Freddie Freeman's first major league manager. Died at the age of 84, just a couple of weeks shy of his 85th birthday. One pitch, one out in the top of the 6th for the Braves. But for Bobby Cox, synonymous with Braves baseball in the Braves way. 3 decades managing in Atlanta. Close to it, 25 years. 2,149 wins out of his 2,504 total victories, the 4th most ever behind Connie Mack, Tony La Russa, and John McGraw. 5 pennants and a 1995 World Series title. Our condolences to his wife Pam, their family and all who knew and loved Bobby Cox, including a couple of those in the Dodgers organization. Obviously, Freddie Freeman at first base, and Freddie shared his memories and stories with the media before today's game. But also Dodgers first base coach Chris Woodward played for Bobby Cox.
The big three in Atlanta, Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz. I reached out to them and got some responses. And John Smoltz wrote me the longest one, which was that Bobby knew that they traded for him. And the first time he was there under Bobby, he went the first half of the year, he went 2-11. And Bobby stuck with him. And John, in the second half of the season, went 12-2. And ended up pitching in 3 7th games for the Braves. World champion, Hall of Famer. And John said that without Bobby Cox, he would have never been in the Hall of Fame.
Fiery manager.
Player manager too.
And a manager who loved his players. Had their backs at every turn. And for Freddie Freeman, he wasn't thinking so much about what happened between the lines, the baseball lessons, of which there are many. Thought back to a time during spring training at Braves' former facility in Orlando. Freddie and Chelsea had just welcomed Charlie to the world. He was about 6 months old, and they're eating dinner. And here comes Bobby Cox and his wife Pam. And Freddie said just watching the two of them light up over Charlie in the stroller, that's the happy stuff that sticks with him on a day like today.
Everybody that I reached out to in the Braves organization and the ex-players were pretty much everyone to a man said he was the best. It was the phrase they used. He was the best. And even as an opposing player, he would come out of the dugout during the different batting practices and just kind of meander behind the cage. And if you happened to run into him, he would chat with you. He and Tommy Lasorda would find their way behind the cage and chat before a series or a game. And really, really a fun guy to be in a conversation with. Highest of integrity, highest of just feeling like he's present with you, and he really did care, which he did. That kind of respect off the charts for him all around baseball.
So I asked Freddie that earlier today. You know, when you think of the Braves way, you think of Bobby Cox. What do you think of Freddie? And he's like, I think of doing things the right way. You know, if you're taking BP, full uniform, buttoned up, hat never backwards, the sunglasses never on the front of the hat, because you have to respect the A. It means a little bit more here. So that's why he says tomorrow, a day game, my sunglasses come off, I won't put it in front of the LA. And that's Bobby Cox. Just those little things. It meant more to be an Atlanta Brave, the same way Freddie says it now means more to be an LA Dodger. Organizations where it's just a little bit different. A scoreless 6th. Remains 6-0 as we remember Bobby Cox. Performance Spotlight is sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealer, Spencer Strider. 5 shutout innings, just 1 hit, 2 walks and 7 Ks. He's back out there to start the 6th, even though Dylan Lee, the lefty, had been warming in the bullpen. He's going to face Shohei Ohtani. That was just his 81st pitch.
Well, if the Braves are worried about is he going to come back in the same effectiveness, sending him out there with this pitch count against this hitter, it shows that they've got a lot of confidence in him.
For the Dodgers, this is the 8th time this season that they've been scoreless through 5 innings of a game, and the 4th time scoreless through 5 on only 1 hit. Ohtani strikes out on 3 pitches.
And we're still at 96 miles an hour with that inside fastball on the 83rd pitch.
First base, ready,
Still got gas in the tank. That's a good fastball, but the other pitches have been really good too. Dodgers are 0 for 8 with 6 Ks on all of his non-fastballs.
Strike one, shot foul by Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 2. And hearing that stat from Dr. Krajewski about it's the 8th time you've seen the Dodger offense scoreless through 5 innings.
Right.
You might be thinking, well, there they go again. A frustrating year. But sometimes, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. It certainly has so far this year. But sometimes you just have to tip, as in tip your cap. And Spencer Strider has been that guy tonight.
Well, he's really filled the strike zone up. Right around 10 chases by the Dodgers, which is not many at all. So he's been getting people out in areas where they can get the barrel on it.
Popped up. Playable for Harris. 2 out.
catcher, Will Smith.
I believe it's now 0 for 17. Dodgers not named Will Smith, and there you go. This is a huge boost to Atlanta moving forward. You already know what you have in Chris Sale. Wondered what you still got in Spencer Strider, but tonight is one of those outings where Walt Weiss can say, we have a lethal 1-2 punch at the top. And that's to say nothing of tomorrow's starter, Bryce Elder, who has been outstanding. Caught by Yastrzemski in foul ground. Ohtani, Freeman, and Smith down in order in the 6th. The Dodgers still down 6-0.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on May 11th and receive a 2025 World Champion Trophy replica presented by Budweiser. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Well, Walt Weiss gave Spencer Strider the 6th inning. He rewarded them with another 0. 6 innings of 1-hit baseball, 2 walks, 8 punch-outs on 91 pitches. And he exits with a 6-0 lead. Paul Gervais takes the hill for the 7th. First outing with the big club so far this year. You see his numbers with the OKC Comets at AAA. Freddie Freeman's night is done. Dalton Rushing now playing first base.
Some people at home might be on their phone thinking, how tall is Paul? And he's about 6'10".
Right back to him.
And he wears a glove on his left hand.
And that very found it.
Reaction times. This is a redeemer. If you're taking pitchers fielding practice and miss one, they hit another one at you harder and see if you can get it. And he did. Did you catch the ball or did it catch you?
Either way, 1 out. Gervais pitched 1 game last season for the Dodgers after LA acquired him in a deadline deal, a pre-deadline deal with Tampa Bay. That one's over his glove and his head, lined into center field. A base hit for Olsen.
Third baseman, number
In that one
27,
game, 2 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits and a walk, did strike out 2. Fourth trip to the plate for Austin Riley. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Does have an RBI as well. When he came in to score in the 5th, coming around from first on a Harris double, slid home, and you saw him in the dugout getting some work, some tape or bandage on one of his hands.
Like they might be dealing with a little bit of blood right there. Trainer had a rubber glove on. It looked like he was compressing a cut or a scrape.
So the tape when he's in the field, obviously covered now with the batting gloves. Another 1-2 from Gervais. Tipped into the glove, strike 3. After the previous one tipped in and out of Smith's glove, that one stayed in. And it means you can go out tomorrow and get a free jumbo jack in Los Angeles, buy a large beverage, a free burger, thanks to the Dodger pitching staff tonight. Popped up on the infield for Kim. Olsen stranded. No change in the score. 6-0 Atlanta. Stand and stretch. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal, with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Dodgers have 9 outs to get at least 6 runs. They trail Atlanta here in game 2 of the 3-game series. Spencer Strider is out. Dylan Lee is in. The ERA of 1.02 his first 18 games.
Strider is still the story, even though he's in there. 12th time in his career he's gone 6 or more innings without giving up a run. So I would say he is back. At least for tonight. He looked very, very good.
The Dodgers go to their bench again. We saw Dalton Rushing play first base in the top of the 7th. For Freddie Freeman, Alex Call pinch hitting for Kyle Tucker.
Day game tomorrow. Dave Roberts trying to get a few guys off their feet, have them ready for the starting lineup tomorrow. Not to say they're not trying in this game, but they are looking at it a little bit longer than just one game. Thinking that this is a loss, and then you want to win the series tomorrow. The other thing it does is it gets these guys some reps and keeps them relevant, keeps them fresh. And you know what? If you look at 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the Dodger lineup over the course of the beginning of the season here, they are the most productive foursome in baseball in those slots.
Full count on Call. Lee's payoff. Jams call and pops him up to short. 1 out in the 7th.
Center field, Andy Pajes.
Santiago Espinal getting ready to pinch hit for Max Muncy. Right now, Andy Pajes in the box. Ball 1 up and away. Not just reps, playing time, spots on the roster, depending on how you want to look at the impending roster crunch with Mookie Betts' return.
Tonight the offense is having one of those nights, and yes, they've got 8 outs left, but 22 guys have come to the plate, and only 5 times has the ball left the infield.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of them.
And it's happened more to this team than I think anybody was expecting. It's a lineup that is built on slug, and there have been some slug droughts, especially from the big boppers.
There haven't been many droughts from this guy at the plate. Teo will tell you, yeah, it hasn't been good. Max, he'll tell you he's been swinging the bat real well and has.
Ground ball, base hit into left field. Pajes aboard.
There we go. We got one on the outfield grass. Shohei, Freddie, Mookie not in there because he's hurt, but on his way back. Will Smith will say, you know, not swinging the bat at the A level. So yeah, there's a lot of potential left in this lineup that is still first in the National League West.
Second pinch hitter of the inning. Espinal in for Muncy, who finishes 0 for 2. Santiago did have a hit last night. Pushes a fly ball to right field. Pushes Yastrzemski toward the warning track. Plenty of room to make the catch for the second out. Pajes remains on first. First Dodger hit since the very first inning. Even if it comes in quote-unquote garbage time, Teoscar Hernandez is the Dodger who needs to see the ball go through the hoop.
Yeah, you're so right. We've seen moments where he looks like himself, where he's going the opposite field and he's getting the ball in the air to left field and hitting it for power. But we've seen too many moments where he looks lost up there. And especially on things that are off speed.
Now he's got a park adjusted OPS below 100, which means below league average. It's the first time in his career where that's been the case. Two and two. Sees it go full. Lee's payoff. Rolled to Riley. And that ends the 7th. take a look at the Dodgers calendar, sponsored by Fubo. Watch Dodgers baseball and plenty more at FuboTV.com. Series finale, it looks like it'll be the rubber match on Sunday against Atlanta, then a 4-game series with the Giants in town. San Francisco made some headlines this Saturday morning. Bit of a stunning and odd trade with the Cleveland Guardians, trading away their starting catcher Patrick Bailey for a pitching prospect and the 29th overall pick in the upcoming MLB draft. Bailey, a terrific defensive catcher. And scouting report says that the bat leaves you wanting, but he was a guy that whenever the Dodgers and Giants played, he always seemed to come up with a big hit or a big home run. But you definitely won't miss seeing him in orange and black stealing strikes on both sides of the plate.
Yeah, the relationship he has with pitchers is off the charts. The rhythm, the ability to call when between two pitches, which one is the guy going to be able to execute because of his miss pattern that night. All kinds of things on how to subtly work a staff.
Here's a punch out for Gervais to start the 8th. The second of the night. Now, Cleveland, and you love defensive catching. You got Patrick Bailey and Austin Hedges as your tandem. So it'll be a different look to the Giants lineup come Monday.
I'm going to beat you with good catching and 8 hitters.
Ball 1 to Yastrzemski. First plate appearance of the game for him. Now 6-0 in the 8th. I'm going to ask the question. Can you spell Yastrzemski without looking at the scorebug right now?
I'm not going to. I know it's Y-A-S.
Yes.
Z. No. Stop. ST's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Just throwing out consonants.
Yeah. You could have, right?
Yes. So the way I always tricked my brain was just Yas and then Yastrzemski. But for Mike Yastrzemski, he said growing up, the way that he learned to spell his own last name was the old Mickey Mouse theme. You remember that?
M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
Yeah, so Y-A-S-T-R-Z-E-S-K-I.
Why didn't you ask me that one? I got it right.
That's how he did it.
Okay. E-S-T-R-Z-E-M-S-K-I.
That's not how the jingle went.
It sure did in my head.
You were way off key.
Well, I was trying to sing it to myself and it came out.
Got it.
You made me try to sing it to a jersey that was walking back to the dugout. I mean, you try and do it. Walking back to the dugout, reading the jersey.
What is that? How does that impact
right now? Go.
Y-A-S-T-R-Z.
No, you're off key too.
No, don't.
That's what you evaluated me on. What key I was in.
The 2-out base hit continues at the top of the 8th.
Sometimes these partnerships are tough.
Number 14, Mauricio Dubon.
How about Alex Call? Go.
C-A-L.
That's much better.
L-L-L.
It's so melodic.
Stop it. You need to go in the back and warm up.
That's right. Back to the top of the order. 5th time through now for Atlanta. Dubon 2 for 4 so far.
If this is the topic at 6-0, I don't want to see 12-0.
Of course not. Would love to see 6-6. The juice is flowing again.
That would be great.
I don't know why I stopped at 7-6 and then the game over. Yeah, but
ooh, hello.
Gervais on the board, 3-1.
I'll run into a lot of parents that'll say, you know, I'm not sure my son is going to throw well enough to play in the big leagues or even college ball because he's not going to be big enough. Gervais is 6'10". Strider, who had the outing and came back from his second Tommy John, is, it says in the roster, 6 foot. I might put him at more like 5'11". And it's not always about size. It's about, you know, fast twitch fibers. It's about
2 on, 2 out in the 8th. That's a base hit into right off the bat of Baldwin.
Yep.
The throw home, a little late. Atlanta hit 7.
We saw at the beginning of the game they were just hitting all the different places and they're just falling in. They didn't have great exit velocity. They are hitting the ball a little bit firmer, and this is a 2-hopper, and this one deserves to be a hit.
All this happening with 2 outs too.
Yeah.
Base hit, walk, base hit after 2 strikeouts.
A good visit by Will Smith. Encouraging visit that you can start to feel all alone out there. Back to the organization on the mound. First outing's not going real well. And Will just out there just like, hey, we're in this together.
That close to 2 scoreless innings with at least 3 strikeouts. Now you got an Ernie on your ledger. Yes, he did.
You know, Albies is going.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be swinging as soon. You could throw the rosin bag up there, he'd swing.
And he might hit it. Bouncing ball right side. By rushing. Freeland backs him up. Gervais covers. But now a 7-run lead for Atlanta in the middle of the 8th. Coming up after this one ends, Access SportsNet Dodgers presented by Mercury Insurance begins out in Center Field Plaza. John Hartung, Jerry Harrison Jr., Nomar Garcia Parra. Not a lot of highlights to show, but of the ones that exist, they'll break them all down. Post-game interviews as well. Reynaldo Lopez, who's done a little bit of everything in his career. As a starter out of the bullpen. He's a reliever tonight.
Just trying to get him to the end now. Up 7-0. Your job is to throw strikes and get outs as quick as possible. Don't leave your fielders out there with a day game tomorrow throwing ball 1, ball 2.
Kim, Freeland, and Ohtani scheduled hitters in the 8th. 7-0 Braves. It was Lopez who sparked one of the weirder benches clearing brawls early this year when Atlanta was visiting Anaheim against former Brave Jorge Soler. Soler had homered earlier, and a pitch that kind of was up and in, but then it was like a delayed reaction and then a stare down between the two, and then finally they converged and punches were thrown. Braves manager Walt Weiss had to come out, and one of the greatest form tackles you will see for you football fans, taking down Jorge Soler, who is not a small human.
Not at all. Not a guy after you take him down that you want him to get up.
No. But of course Soler, with his relationships with Weiss and everybody in the Braves, things calmed down after a very fiery start. Sung Kim works a leadoff walk to start the 8th.
Well, Lopez did exactly the opposite of what I said. Your team just wants you to come in and throw strikes.
Dodgers need base runners, lots of them.
Number 76, Alex Freeland.
There's ball 2 here. You probably get a visit from your catcher. It's not the pitch selection, it's the image in your head of the pitch selection and what you're trying to do with it. And he has not got a good image, and here's your visit.
Right on cue, partner. And Murphy, a veteran backstop. 6 of the first 7 pitches out of the strike zone.
This is the smallest of keyholes right here for Alex Freeland. If he's looking for something inside, he's got even not only that, but what height he's looking for.
Grounds it to short. It's a double play.
He was looking for something right down the middle. He got something middle away, slightly up, and just hit it hard where they were at.
Hitter number 17, Ohtani.
Bases empty for Ohtani, who is hitless so far tonight. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks.
It is really weird to see his average at 243.
Yep. It's been odd to see him have as many hitless nights as he has had as well.
And you can go one step further, right? And how many balls have not been hit hard? We're used to, if he gets 4 or 5 at bats, at least 2 balls are hit really hard.
With respect, Ronaldo Lopez is somebody who Ohtani should hit hard. But about half of his games with a plate appearance this season, Ohtani has gone hitless. Last year, fewer than 26% of his games without a hit.
Almost doubled.
The 0-2 hung up there and was fouled away. The 1-2.
For tomorrow and a little momentum, it'd be good to see him barrel one up.
Not going to chase the slider down and in.
He definitely wants to swing. I think anything within a ball, up or down or in or out, he's going to be hacking.
Shoots it into left for a base hit. And you were right where that pitch was. He was looking to swing still.
Yeah, that was a good 2 or 3 balls above the strike zone, but yeah. You're just looking for any results to feel good about yourself, and he was not going to feel good about himself walking. He wasn't going to get any momentum going into tomorrow by walking. So if he makes an out, he makes an out, but he'll take the risk and try and get the hit, which he did.
Dalton rushing. Swings through a strike. Tony aboard with a 2-out single, just the 3rd Dodger hit of the game. And 2 of those 3 coming with 2 outs in the inning. So you're just too little too late every time. Fastball by Rushing, 1-2.
These are the games where you run into fans the next day or even as we leave the ballpark. They just were so flat tonight. Did they really care? That's what bad offense makes you look like. It makes it look like, you're not into it. It makes you look like you're not passionate. It makes you look like you're not caring. It's not. Sometimes you got to just tip your hat to the opposing team, the opposing pitcher that's throwing the ball really well. You can be lost in games where your teammates are also a little lost as far as offense is concerned, and it does look as a whole that it doesn't, you want to put adjectives to it that are negative.
2-strike pitch to Rushing. Pumps it by him. So Ohtani stranded. We're done with 8 full. 7-0 Braves. Will come down to Sunday. Matchup between Justin Robleski and Bryce Elder. The right-hander in Elder has been terrific so far this year. Justin Robleski, one of the best ERAs in the National League.
Elder's right with them. Elder's whip is right just a tick over 1. That means the number of base runners you have, walks and hits or innings pitch.
He's had 8 starts. He has yet to give up more than 3 earned runs in any.
Yep, he's had a few starts that have polished off 7 innings. His shortest start's 4 2/3, which is almost an average start nowadays.
But first, got to finish this one. The 9th inning on Saturday. The Dodgers down 7-zip.
Right down the line, that was ruled foul. Short of the first base bag or third base bag, it is the home plate umpire's call. After the bag, it is the base umpire's call.
Seven runs for Atlanta, the most the Dodgers have allowed in a game since the first of the month on the road in St. Louis. 12 total runs allowed in the games between the first and tonight the ninth. The 9th inning starts with Paul Gerace's 4th strikeout.
Number 27, Austin Riley.
Base hit for Riley.
Everybody moving the bat. Bolton rushing down there after the base hit, asking Dave Roberts or Chris Woodward or Dino Ebo, do my plan on the bag or behind him, and they're going to play behind the runner at first.
As the 12th Atlanta hit tonight. Or they have just 1 extra base hit.
They have more hits with runners in scoring position than the Dodgers have total hits. 4-3.
0-2 on Harris.
There's a lot of swinging in both lineups now, as far as a little bit outside the strike zone. Everybody looking for results quickly. Last 2 pitches weren't even close, and they were swung at. Ohtani did the same thing with 2 outs with the Dodgers up to bat, and he looked for some results and got it.
Gervais with another K.
3 pitches out of the strike zone, 3 hacks. This was a scoreboard at bat.
Number 12, Sean Murphy.
And Oral, being sincere here, what you're seeing from Paul Gervais, you saw from Edgardo Enriquez, 34 pitches from Enriquez. Gervais is getting close to 50. The type of little things, because you may look at 7-0, turn the game off, or just look at the box score and not look beyond the final score and see, oh, they got outscored 7-0, got hit 12 to 3. But those are the types of things that can help you win a series tomorrow.
Oh yeah, with these 2 guys taking down the bulk of the inning, especially the workload that the Dodgers bullpen has gotten. So yeah, they have a lot of winning pieces ready for tomorrow, because these guys have put in their fair share of just trying to get outs.
Skied to right, playable for call. 0 for Gervais in the 9th. The Dodgers have 3 outs to get at least 7 runs. Been a quiet night on this Saturday for the Dodgers. They trail the Braves 7-0 as we cruise back in for the bottom of the 9th. 3, 4, and 5 due up to start. Will Smith, Alex Call, and Andy Pages.
Will got himself a hit, one of the 3 for the Dodgers. Also a walk and a fly out to right. One more bingle right here. Feel pretty good. You like that word, bingle?
I thought you said bingo. I didn't see bingle.
Bingle. I think it's a really old term that means single or hit.
Totally. In the air, right field side. Yastrzemski is there.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, this is just pride talking.
Right field, number 12, Alex Hall.
What does bingle mean? Bingle primary means a minor car accident or collision.
You were so close.
There's a bingle baseball dictionary.
I mean, I feel like the internet will just return anything these days, you know.
Old baseball slang term for a single.
Still going.
Where the batter safely reaches first base. Hey, thank you, Google. That's deep. Primarily used in the early 20th century,
yes,
dating back to at least 1898. I am an old soul.
Yes, hey, you know what? Honestly, you nailed that.
Thank you.
And Call nails this toward the left field corner. That's an extra base hit for the Dodgers. And a runner in scoring position.
Well, the consolation prize for the Dodgers would be to avoid their second shutout loss of the season. The other one was against the Giants back in April, the end of April. Maybe they can do it right here with a very hot hitter at the plate.
Andy Pages 1 for 3.
watching Andy so far, 2 pitches in his bat, it's a very professional at bat. He could easily be looking for an RBI and swinging the bat at balls. He's built himself a count.
I mean, Andy, you got 2.
It was wide, but still a really professional at bat.
The not challenge to the 2-1 pitch. Hammered to left field. This ball's back, and the Dodgers are on the board.
He deserved that. He was waiting for a certain area. I think middle in. He took all 3 pitches away. He could have easily been hitting for just himself, but he was hitting for the team and himself, and it paid off. That was a very good plan and a very good at bat.
They won't be shut out on this Saturday thanks to Andy Pages in his 9th home run. And his 4th in the last 3 games.
That is well done.
Hadn't had an extra base hit or a runner in scoring position all night. Back-to-back extra base hits, a double and a homer. 7-2.
That just should make him more special in your eyes. That's just really, really well done. Impressive.
You can argue, given what he does on the defensive side of the ball, and Andy Pages has been the Dodgers' most valuable player this season.
Yeah,
I think it's a strong argument.
I'm right there with you.
Espinal pokes it to second. Albies is there, 2 down.
Well, we know his personality. It is serious 24 hours a day. And so he didn't let the scoreboard all of a sudden take away from his focus. He's going to force his way onto the All-Star team this year, where last year it was
Let's see Oscar Hernandez with a base hit up the middle.
he got snubbed last year.
Yep.
Mr. Pages, but this year he's going to mow him down and get on their All-Star team. Keep going, Andy. It's really fun to watch.
Shortstop, number 6, Song Kim.
Dodgers with as many hits here in the 9th as they had in the first 8 innings total. 3. Go ahead, O.
The evidence continues. And it is not an indictment on any other Dodger hitter. It is just for the situation. He continued to be Andy Pages and didn't come out of his game. And it wasn't like it was a blip on a screen. He has been like this since the first day of spring training. The offseason, the embarrassment of not being on the playoff roster, but then being out there as a defensive replacement. Not starting, I should say.
Dodgers down to their last strike. The 2-2 to Kim. Fly to left. That'll slice out of play.
This game at the professional level and at this level is really a 24-hour-a-day job. You're thinking baseball when you leave the park. You're thinking baseball when you're away from the park. You're thinking baseball as you come to the park. You're thinking baseball at the park.
on the ground to first. This should do it. Sung Kim says not yet.
These guys are showing the character of this team here in the 9th inning.
Walt Weiss was holding his hand up.
Ooh, it's close. Foot over the bag, maybe the toe on the bag from the Brave. Oh, I think he's out.
This is a crew chief review for the state call first base.
Yeah, I saw Walt Weiss holding his hand up. The Braves don't have any challenges left. This is a crew chief review. But even still, even if this call is overturned, which it will be, your point stands. Is the Dodgers showing you something here in the 9th?
They really are. There's a lot of character here. They're playing right to the very last pitch and right to the very last inch on that play.
Wow. Yeah.
He's saying my foot's just not down. It's over the bag. He's there, but looks like he's going to be out. Calling the field is safe. We've seen it stand twice tonight.
I think Raisel Iglesias is throwing in the Atlanta bullpen, whatever that's worth. Let's get the call.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out. The game is over.
All right, so that does it. Series even, 1 game apiece. 7-2 the final score. It'll come down to Sunday. A really good, unexpected pitching matchup. Justin Robleski for the Dodgers. Bryce Elder for the Braves. So either come join us here at Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium or hang out at home. Either way, we hope it's a happy Mother's Day coming up tomorrow. Coming up next is Access Sportsnet Dodgers with John Hartung, Jay Hare, and Nomar. For Orr Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and our crew, I'm Stephen Elson. Thanks for being with us on this Saturday. Dodgers hoping to make it a better Sunday.